So, welcome to another episode of Talkin, obviously with myself and Stuart, and today we are joined by the lovely David Roberts. How are you?
Very well, very well. Thank you for inviting me to be here today. I appreciate it.
No, we love having you here, and we're actually really looking forward to this episode. Obviously, before we start, I'm going to get a little bit of overview of obviously what we understand about our sign. Then you can obviously provide a lot more detail than that. But obviously, from our perspective, our sign is our partner for document signature. And that partnership, I think, has been going on for about 18 months, and I think it's going really well. We really like the partnership from our side, and hopefully that feeling is mutual. And obviously, from what we've seen, it's a great addition to our system. It's providing that additional tool to our customers. But I think you can do that a lot more justice, David. So, obviously, please feel free to introduce yourself. Tell us about, obviously, who you are and exactly what your company offers.
Okay, well, my name's David Roberts. I'm an executive director over at RPost, which is the name of the organisation. So I think one of the issues that we have is people hear our different products and assume that's the company name. So our sign is a good example of that, where they hear our sign and think we're an e-signature organisation, which is fair enough because, you know, everyone makes the same mistake. We're actually an e-security business. So our sign is one part of that, but we also look at email encryption, the ability to detect ransomware attacks, third-party risk outside of networks, which no one else in the world can do apart from us. And also document control as well, where we have the ability to kill documents after sending, even after the recipient has downloaded them. So there's quite a lot going on there, but we've been going for 20, 25 years or so.
Oh, wow.
There's quite a lot going on. But the main bit we do with you guys, and I think it's rather successfully, is our side, which is the e-signature element.
Yeah, excellent. Well, as Amin's mentioned there, we've partnered with you guys for at least 18 months. I think moving towards the 2 years, shall we say? And as Amin said, it's been a really good partnership. We at Kintec have always been big on partnerships. It improves our own offering. It improves your credibility in the marketplace. And I do believe that one of the main things that has come about because of the partnership with our sign is the fact that we've been able to bring together what we call our Kintec Pro offering, which is the overarching license agreement, which is obviously including your email signature with yourselves. We've got Trust ID, text message from the system, CRM, pensions, payslip checkers, and obviously our own benefits package now in the Kintec Collective. So that's really helped us along the lines, and I think it's one of our better and best partnerships, I'd probably say, David, at the moment.
Oh, well, it's very kind. It's very kind to say. And do you know what? I'd say without us getting into a big backslapping conversation, I think the feeling's mutual. I think a lot of the marketing you guys is really good. Really, really good. It's very personable. Get to know all the team. And I've actually, I don't know whether I should say this or not, I've taken some screen grabs and sent it over to our own marketing team to say, listen, I think you need to take a couple of leaves out of these guys' books. So you might see a little bit of copying. But you do a great job.
We won't tell Lucy.
Even though she's going to see this and look at this recorded and post it, but she won't see it. Okay.
Well, the flattery is imitation is the greatest form of flattery. So
that's the one.
We appreciate that.
So what was it that sort of brought our sign to sort of come to the partnership with Kintec? Was it anything in particular, David?
Well, to be honest, I was at the RAE Recruitment Agency Expo event a couple of years ago, and I got talking with the lovely Adam with his lovely beard. Actually, I think at that point, I don't think he was full beard then. I think he was still transitioning into the beard. But we were having a conversation about e-signatures on the platform. And it's something he's been pushing for a while. And he struggled to find a partner that could work with them in the way which they needed, where I think there needed to be flexibility on the integration to allow you to do what it needs to do. And I think a lot of other providers in the market are quite rigid. And perhaps maybe a little bit arrogant in a way of, this is how it works, here it is, works for everyone else, so you guys will do the same. We kind of flip it around the other way, and we said, well, listen, let's have a chat with, I think, was it Rutger, if I'm pronouncing her name correctly?
Rutger.
Yeah, and she was really good at looking at the flow that you needed and helping us to work with that. So it wasn't a case of taking it off the shelf and making you and your customers work to what works for us. It's the other way around. So that's the way we like to do it. And you had a gap there. We could quite easily fill that gap in a process that works for your customers, and also in a way of how it was. I mean, integrations can be difficult for customers, your customers. And I think what you guys have done have made it very simple. There's not a lot of hoops to jump through. It's just a case of designing templates on our platform, titling them, and that information pulls through. So I think that the work that you did there really complements what we do on our side. But yeah, we were approachable to fill that gap, but it's been a seamless process to do so.
No, I agree, and I think one thing I want to add on that is obviously the process itself is really straightforward, as you mentioned there as well. Obviously, did create the templates. We didn't just talk, and that just works perfectly. But one thing I did really like, and you may remember this, is when a client had an issue at their end. I don't know if you remember, and I was actually on site with them on an urgent.
Yes, I remember very well.
And then obviously she needed a bit of help, and then straight away you were on to a meeting. We helped them obviously with that, and that for me was the epitome of what this relationship was going to look like, because the fact that how you guys were quick to react is literally how we work as well. So it's really nice where someone does have an issue, which really it wasn't our issue or your issue, but we're willing to go that extra mile to really help someone. I think that was really nice to see.
Well, there's something we have from the top down from our CEO over in the States, is this line of "we try harder." Because we know there are other big players in the market who have more marketing budget than us and who are known more than us. So you've got to go that extra length to show that we try harder for our customers and for your customers. And I'll be brutally honest, when I had the back and forth with her, and then I said, listen, let's jump on a Teams call. I had no idea that you were there. But I was very happy when I saw that you were, because then you could see, I'm practicing what I preach, and we are jumping straight on to help people. But it's important. I see a lot of customers come to us from our competitors where they're raising tickets, and no one comes back to them, or they're repeating problems they have over and over again to different people. And I think it's important just to make sure, I call it the warm fuzzy feeling of putting your arm around them, making sure that they feel valued and they're looked after, and you resolve those issues.
No, I agree, and I think that really sort of goes with what we do as well as a business.
I agree.
Obviously, this webinar is about you guys, so I don't want to talk too much about Kintech, but obviously we've got competitors who've had rounds and rounds of funding, we've had lots of money in, but it's not about that, as you just said. It's about that. What do you do as a business? Do you go the extra mile, and do you genuinely care about the human side of it, which really makes a difference?
But it's building those relationships, isn't it? I think when you're building those relationships with people, they're more inclined to stick with you as a customer, because they've got more of an affinity of working with you. If it's just a case of, every time they've got a problem, they go onto the website and they're filling something in a little AI chatbot on the bottom right-hand corner of the screen, and then someone comes and offers them a better deal, well, it's like, well, yeah, I'll move, because you've not made any effort. But if they're speaking with someone who knows their business, knows some of the challenges which they face, and some of the challenges they've got coming up in the future, maybe they've mentioned about an acquisition, maybe they've mentioned about, a lot of staff are going to be off, maybe there's going to be new staff coming in, new training, you're aware of that, and you can work with them on it. And I think that's where that relationship building is so important to maintaining the business you have with these people.
No, definitely. I think this kind of really signposts well into my next question, whether I was actually trying to do that.
Oh, go on.
So one of the things I was actually going to ask you is, why should someone invest in an e-sign provider? And obviously, to be specific, an e-sign provider like yourself. But I think you've kind of signposted to that answer.
Well, no, I can give you more. I mean, as a general point of why would you be using these signatures, I think anyone who's fairly tech savvy, and to be fair, a lot of your customers I speak to are tech savvy, it's the efficient return of documents. Previously people were putting them in the post, getting them come into the office, you name it, to get these documents signed, and then waiting days, weeks, months to get them completed. And now they're going to be completed within a matter of seconds. You have an audit log of who sent it, who signed it, etc. But more specifically, why would you be using our sign? Well, there was a recent IDC report where our sign was named as a global leader in the e-signature industry, beating the two big players. I won't mention them by name, one beginning with A, one beginning with D. I'm sure people can guess who they are. But the line I always use is, they've got a lot of money to spend on appearing in the halftime adverts at the World Cup final, and you'll find me at the Recruitment Agency Expo. So we're spending a lot more money on e-security measures. So one of the things we do, which no one else can do, is something called an auto lock feature, where if I were to send a document to someone and it arrives in their inbox and their inbox has been hacked into, we can detect if a cyber criminal is sat within that inbox trying to access that document. So if they do attempt to access it, we lock it automatically. So if you're talking about impersonation, fraud, or data breaches, etc., no one else can do that apart from us. And it's actually included within the package which all your customers currently have. So we do ask them about getting these added on. It's something we can tailor for them. But yeah, a major reason of coming with us, and the big reason of why you want to come to us, is we're normally about half the price of the big boys. Everyone who goes to speak to them will say, well, I don't know if e-signature is for me because it's so expensive. They come to us. They'll say, why are you guys so cheap? And it's not a case of why we're so cheap, or cost effective, I should say, but it's why are they so expensive when they're doing exactly the same thing as us? And that's the thing that people have to look at when they look at an e-signature provider. And normally it's a case of how much blood can they smell in the water before they put a quote in. And that's why they don't put the prices on the website.
One of the things I want to actually ask you on that before we move on is, you mentioned obviously the costs and stuff. So I think that sometimes is what sort of baffles me when it comes to certain things, where when something's better and cheaper, it's just a no-brainer, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's a case sometimes of people saying, well, and as I come back to it, why does it cost less when you are rating higher than these guys on reports and feedback? But it's the brand. Sometimes people will pay for a brand, and it's something that we come across, with Impellum, one of the largest recruitment companies in the world, were with one of the big two, and then put faith in us to move over to use our services. They've been rolling that over globally since then. So we look after the States, look after UK and Europe. And it is tough sometimes to say, you haven't heard of us compared to what you know about these other guys. But, we will save you money. We do have extra layers of e-security in place. We do have levels of support, which I think is untouched or unchallenged compared to what our competitors are doing. And, it's a case of, getting that message out there, and it's working with our partners, which helps get the message out there. Things, like sessions like this, getting to events, get in front of people. So, we fight the good fight.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, I'm pretty old school. A deal isn't done until that order is signed, and I think what you guys do, as you've mentioned there, you make it easier to get it in. You don't have to go on site. You don't have to post out documents. It's done. It's done and dusted for you. We can then move on, sort of thing. Get the ball rolling.
That reminds me of 4 years ago getting my house and they were waiting on a fax.
It's mental, isn't it?
There you go.
Well, in that industry, though, not much has changed. I moved house fairly recently, and they still had me go down, and I had to post the document. Actually, during COVID times, I moved again then, and I had to go down and actually post it through the door because they wouldn't open the door because they were scared of infection. But land registry is very outdated in the forms of signing documents, and it's good to see that other industries in finance, accounting, payroll are a lot more forward thinking and been able to help people.
Needs to get into the real time, doesn't it?
Yeah, and there's a lot of stuffy people at the top sometimes, which the legal sector can be a funny one. I mean, I won't go down that avenue too much, but there's some industries that need to be dragged kicking and screaming into the modern age.
Definitely. So obviously we've touched on a little bit of obviously what RPost also offers, as well as the R-Sign signature. So do you want to tell us a little bit more about the other services that RPost offer, David?
Yeah, most certainly. So RMail is one of our big two, along with R-Sign. So RMail traditionally started off as a solution to sending emails with legal proof of delivery content and time. So very similar to what we have over here with Registered Post. The benefit being that we do it a fraction of the price, and we also have proof of what the conversation is. And so if you've got anyone out there who's sending any kind of notification, especially if they're doing it in the post, get in touch with us. We'll save you a lot of money and increase the efficiency and compliance. But our mail also has the ability to encrypt communication without need for the recipient to log into a website or a portal, so instant access. And it also now has the ability to detect cyber criminals in the recipient's inbox. So, I think this might be something going on till later on, so I won't go too far into this, but in regards to third-party risk is huge at the moment. Some of the big supermarkets at the moment, pretty much that's how their hacks occurred. I think we may be discussing this later on, so I don't want to go into it now. But yeah, it's a huge issue, third-party risk, detecting issues outside of your network. But the other big one for us at the moment is something called RDocs. So the ability to kill documents after sending, even if the recipient has downloaded them, they're walking around with it on their smartphone, tablet, USB, we can still kill it. We can even prevent access via domain, IP address, locations. So maybe you don't want a document to be accessed outside of the UK or even outside of your office. We can prevent that. It's really handy for acquisitions if you don't want people to know what's going on. I actually had a conversation with the US Navy. I was doing an event over in Orlando, and they had issues with documents being leaked to the press. And what we're also able to do, and this is what they're looking at, is if someone tries who has legitimate access to a document and thinks, well, do you know what? I'm not able to send this to someone, but I'll take a picture on my phone and send a picture to them or a screen grab. When they do that, their email address appears across the image. So if they share it, you know who it's leaking the data, or more, hopefully they won't share it at all because they'll be outed. So yeah, there's a lot we do which no one else in the world can do, which is pretty exciting for us here. So yeah, a lot going on.
I really want to test that now.
Oh, I'll get you access as a partner. You get full access.
That sounds really impressive, to be honest. That actually,
well, I have many whiz kids approach me and say I'm going to be able to break this. And I say, listen, I give everyone the chance to do it. No one's managed to break it. And that's, always happy to people to challenge it. Yeah. No one's managed to do it yet.
Well, that's quite big in the States, isn't it? It's always, they actually employ these people who've hacked into the things. The US government then goes and employs them to basically, come and break it. So
well, you look at some of the big hacks at the moment in the UK. They're all. You'll find that if you look around on LinkedIn, there are contractors who are being brought in by not even just large organisations anymore, medium-sized organisations. Because one of the things, if people get access to these systems, what they're doing is getting into people's network and then poking around for their insurance documents, finding their cyber insurance documents, and then finding out what the excess is. And then once they see, let's say the excess is $5,000, they'll put a ransomware in for $4,000. And say it's cheaper to pay us than it is to pay your excess. So they pay that, they go away, and a year later they're back again with another hack saying we want more money. So this is why e-security measures are important. And I think payroll and the recruitment sector as well. I see it a lot where there's a lot of people shying away and kind of thinking it won't happen to us. And it's these medium-sized organisations who really need to sit up and take notice. Because it only takes one attack and your business can be gone. And we see it all the time. Business is gone overnight. Yeah. So, if anyone's watching this who thinks, I'm all right, Jack, give me a shout and we can help you.
Perfect. And to be honest, that kind of brings us to the next bit, which obviously you were already kind of where that might be what I might ask about it. Obviously, we've seen stuff in our industry in the past 4 or 5 years. I won't go into detail because I think everyone kind of knows about them. But obviously, one of the most recent one, as you sort of touched on, supermarket, was obviously the Co-op, who had 6.5 million members' data stolen. So obviously from your...
Me one of them.
Sorry?
They've got mine. They've got my data. Mr. E-Security here. I've been breached. They'll know about my 2-for-1 pizzas and Stella combo.
Do you know what? Co-op do good bread.
They do good bread if you get there early.
So obviously, just out of curiosity, in a theoretical way, what could you guys have done to have protected Co-op? And obviously, from your expertise, what could you add to that?
Well, there's one, and I won't say which supermarket it was, because there's always stories, and whether there's probably so many touch points within an organization where these hacks occur. But in one of the supermarkets, one of the stories that was fed to us is a member of staff, let's say just admin, not senior management, couldn't log into their system, and they reached out to their third-party IT external provider. And we've all done this in our companies, I'm sure. I can't access A, B, and C. Okay, have you tried turning it off and turning it back on again? No, that's not working. Have you tried this? Have you tried that? I tell you what, I'm going to have to jump onto your system and have a little look and see if I can fix it. No problem at all. So during this conversation, going backwards and forwards, cyber criminal is sat within the external IT party's inbox, and it's just watching conversation backwards and forwards, until they see the point of going, I need to send you this link. So the person's expecting it. The link comes through from the legitimate email address. They're not spoofing the email. It's not like they're changing an A into an 8 and trying to get it through. Email lands, they click on the link, and that link has actually come from the cyber criminal, and they've got access to the system and they're away.
Oh, wow.
What we would have done with our RMail service is when that first email was sent over to that external IT provider, we would have alerted in real time that there's a third party sat in there looking at those communications. So before any link was sent over, before any attack or when they were building all the data, we would have known well ahead of time. So we're speaking to numerous organizations to get these kind of alerts put in place. So essentially we calling it's stopping the phishing before the phishing comes for you. So no other provider can detect this before it occurs, and it was really highlighted by the supermarkets what a major problem it could be. Because I think, M&S, their attack was £300 million.
Wow.
Co-op, I don't know, but there's...
No, I'm just saying that I was agreeing with you. The M&S, it was an absolute fortune.
Oh yeah, and you go into the co-op when they had theirs going ahead. It's not just a case of the money lost. You know this. I mean, if you're going in for your nice bread in there, but the shelves were empty. Because one aspect of the hack was they shut down all the ordering. So whenever the stock ran out normally, staff would scan the barcode, they'd automatically bring new stock in. All that grinds to a halt. Now, if that is an enterprise organization are having these problems and losing all that money, then you've got to think the trickle down is if you're medium, smaller than medium, and you have one of these issues, it's a major problem. But I'd say anyone who has concerns about how it could affect them, even if it's a case of they don't press ahead with what we do, but they want a conversation, please reach out, because there's things that we can do that no one else can do. And detecting criminals before they have a chance to strike is the tip of the iceberg. I mean, we're developing technology now where we can actually see which group it is that is gathering information to do the hacks, whether that's Scattered Spider or Black Cat or many of the other ones you probably read about in the press. We can literally say company X is building a dossier on you and they are coming for you, and this is where that risk is coming from. So yeah, there's a lot in there, and I could probably bleat on all day. My missus will probably tell you. I can talk about it all day. But yeah, if anyone's interested in that, I'm more than happy to have a conversation with them.
No, we appreciate that. Obviously, anyone who's watching this.
I was just going to say, it's almost like something out of the next Bond movie, isn't it?
It really is.
The sort of really people that are out there. It's scary stuff.
You'd be surprised of. It's not. People think these hackers are. A couple of fellas in an apartment in Lagos, Nigeria, but they're buildings with thousands of people all working for these same organizations who are all in cabals, who are trying to access information, because it's not just worth a couple of quid to them, it's worth hundreds of thousands of pounds. I mean, I know one company, and I won't mention them by name, but they paid upwards of $4 or $5 million to be released from a ransomware attack.
Wow.
And that news is out there. We brought it up with them on a call when they said that they weren't too sure they needed to go ahead, and they were quite upset that information had got out there. But yeah, it is worth a lot of money, and you see the frequency going up more and more, and it's getting more expensive, more intense, and as it grows on, more organizations see, well, they're making a lot of money out of this. We're pretty savvy on IT. Let's do it as well. And it's just selling the data on the black web, or the dark web, I should say. And yeah, it's scary how intense and sometimes how simple it can be to access these systems.
Yeah, didn't someone get hacked through their smart coffee machine or something a few years ago? Because a coffee machine was connected to the network.
If it's connected to Wi-Fi, then
It was.
yeah, why not? Yeah, you know, if there's any way to get in, they'll find it. If you've got a weakness, I mean, you know, you could have something through the coffee machine, and let's say there's a username and password because you're accessing it on your phone, so you'll have an account.
Yeah.
So they're logging in and go, oh, I want the coffee machine to come on at 10 to 9, so it's ready for me in the morning. But they hack into that and they find your email address and your password, but you're also using the same password and email to log in to your Facebook. And on that Facebook account, you're having discussions with your work colleagues about, I need to do this tomorrow, I need to do this tomorrow. And they're building up a dossier of you. And all of a sudden, they've got a picture of you from your LinkedIn. And they're using AI to create a conversation like we're having here. And this isn't me. It's a generated image talking and talking about things which we've already talked about on social media or through LinkedIn. And all of a sudden, you're giving them the keys to the kingdom and they're in. So it's any iota of info they've got and they'll run with it.
Scary.
Now this is actually quite, you know, any information, and now we're about to ask you about your fun facts about yourself.
Oh, God.
Hackers, are you listening? This is the good bit.
We might need your mother's maiden name, your favourite teacher's surname, and your first pet.
My password is password 1.
That's a good point.
So, yeah, David, fun facts about yourself.
Fun facts about me?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this.
Go on. So what, are you going to ask me, or have I just got to generate these? Or?
You have to generate this.
Give us two fun facts about yourself.
2 fun facts about me. I'm not bad on the guitar. I used to do a lot of touring around, playing music and singing until I got old, and the grey started coming through when the kids come along. So we did all right there.
So yeah, I noticed behind you the vinyl, David. Bit of a muso.
Yeah, I love my music. Don't get to go out to gigs as much anymore as I like to do. So I take my Friday night routine is I can have maybe a bit of beer in the kitchen. The missus will have a bath. I clean the kitchen and listen to music as I'm tootling around. So love a bit of Super Furry Animals. What else do I love at the moment? I'm still stuck in the noughties. I did go to the Oasis gigs the other week as well, and that was really hot Saturday.
I was there on the Saturday.
The hot one?
On the 12th, yeah. I was there on the Saturday. Fantastic.
Did you, whereabouts were you? Did you get on the front?
No, I have a video, David, little by little, singing with me lad, and I had my crutches in the air.
Oh, yeah,
so
you got the crutches, weren't you?
Yeah, I got priority access into the concert, and then also priority access to the beer queue as well. So hobbling straight to the front. So I'm keeping my crutches now. Any more gigs I'm going to, I'm going on crutches.
I might need them for next time I go to Disneyland or something.
But it was warm though, wasn't it?
Oh, honestly, yeah. I mean, we were worried. We were sat in the beer garden before we went up, me and my missus and some of our friends. And I was literally looking, I'm 41 now. I was like, this is going to be too much for me. But we got through. But what a day.
Oh, yeah.
What a day.
Fantastic.
You're not great for 41, I'm sorry.
I don't have much stress in my life. My missus picks up all the stress for me.
You're older than Stuart.
Am I?
Shut up.
What can I say?
Oh, brilliant. On that note, come on, mate, onto your Q&A.
No worries. I love that though. But before we actually go on, I was going to ask you something on the fun fact. Yeah, obviously when you were touring, was there anywhere that stood up to you? Somewhere favourite place?
Really good. Do you know? Oh, where was it? We played a lot of the ones down London. We had Amy Winehouse and Kaylee Osborne was at one of ours once. Yeah, so that was down in the Dublin. What was it called? I can't remember. Dublin Castle in Camden. That was a good night out. And I'm trying to think where we were up north. Oh God, it was near Chesterfield or somewhere. But we did like the Boardwalk, Arctic Monkeys bar where they used to play all the time. Did a lot up there. Oh God, it was all a bit of a blur. Which I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I won't say, because if anyone digs it out, and then it could be used against me professionally. But we toured with
We'll talk
like enemy cover bands. They were on the front of the enemy. We went touring up and down the country with them, and it was good. But it was the MySpace years, so a lot of that stuff's vanished now. Thank God. I've got the copies, but I won't say on this
That's
format.
fine. You'll have to just show us privately.
We'll talk offline.
And if we're trying to
offline, I can give it to you. Online, I'll keep it to myself.
So then with that, I'm going to do my bit, I say my bit, Stuart does it as well. But for this episode, I'm going to be doing this bit. We like to do a bit of a fun Q&A, and literally just going to be calling you this or that, and you just let me know which one obviously applies to you. And we might obviously ask you a little bit more on your answer as well. So, pretty easy one to begin with. Are you an early bird or a night owl?
Oh, mate, I don't think I'm either these days. I've got a baby, so I'm early bird, not by choice.
Or is it both?
Yeah, I was looking after the kids on my own on last Saturday, and I thought I'd have a party time to myself, and I was in bed by 11:30. Luckily, the boxing finished really quickly. So, yeah, I think I'd probably be a night owl, but I don't have much say in it, so I'll say night owl to keep it easy.
No worries. But you know what? I actually got your answer, because I'm definitely an early bird and a night owl in one at the moment.
Yeah. Not from our own choice, just by life.
I might know your answer to the next one just off that. Tea or coffee?
Coffee, mate, innit? Getting me through.
So, if you had to pick one when it comes to obviously your everyday, do you prefer making calls or sending emails?
Oh, it's both, isn't it? Without sounding boring, because if you just send an email, you're just one of many. And I always think, it's my old school training, call, follow up with an email. Because if they get my voicemail, they'll also know I'm the one that's bothering them. And there was a guy I met in a bar and on Christmas do, and I said, are you out with your Christmas do? He was an FD of a big insurance company. And he asked my name, and I said, David Roberts. He went, do you see from RPost? And I was like, yeah. And he goes, you're that guy who's been annoying me for 18 months. He goes, you call, you email, you call, you email. He goes, I can't forget your name. But he looks like he's doing business with this now, so it pays off. So, yeah. The short answer is both.
Good work.
Brilliant.
So this is the one where me and Stuart are different on. Would you rather be famous for your work or super rich and unknown?
Oh, I tell you, I'd be super rich and unknown. And I was thinking about it. I saw some of the bits you sent through. So when I was younger, my chemistry teacher, his son is in Coldplay. He's the guitar player for Coldplay. And, he was wearing tweed, and I had the Enemy and the Melody Maker, and he used to come in. There was a little picture like this of his son, and it said, bands to watch this year. It's when the Blue Room EP come out, really early record of theirs. And he used to take my melody makers and cut them up with bits of his son. And he wrote on the blackboard, new Coldplay album out on 1st of September. No one knew who they were, obviously, then. I had an interest because, I was speaking to him. And you look at them now where they are, because they split everything down the middle. No, it's not all Chris Martin's money. Right. They split it all down the middle. And now they're all, hundreds of millions of pounds, whatever it is. But Johnny Buckland's the lead guitar player. Not many people are going to pick him out. Or who's the other one? Guy Berryman, Will Chamberlain, is that his name? No one's going to pick them out, and they can do whatever they want, right? I'd be happy. I'd be well happy with that.
See, I'm all about legacy. I'd rather have no money but be remembered forever.
I don't want people to remember the stuff I'd get up to if I was famous.
Right, okay.
I'm just going to have the internet that exists when I was growing up.
Yeah, exactly that. No internet, no phones.
So, superpowers. Yeah. Would you rather be able to fly or be invisible?
If I can fly, have I got the Superman bit? When the Superman films where he just tends to hold Lois's hand and she's flying along with him and she's not like lagging behind in the wind. So if I've got that bit where I can loosely touch someone and they can come along with me, I'll have that. Okay. If I can tweak it.
I'm sure we can talk to legal teams and tweak that.
Yeah, if they'll take that, I'll have that. If I was invisible, I'd probably still, I'd get me boy shouting "Daddy," and I'd have to come back into visibility and then go back out. I wouldn't get anything done. So yeah, I'll have the flying.
Cool, good answer. I like that one. And then finally, it's kind of quite works out well with it being August. Would you prefer a beach holiday or a city break?
Beach holiday, less walking. If I'm on a city break, my missus will want me, let's go look at this, like make the most of our time here. Whereas a beach holiday, I'd be quite happy with my feet up in the sun with a cocktail and some music on. So on the beach, yeah, that'd be me all over.
So let you go on holiday with
Excellent.
Mel and my partner, because she's a team, whereas I'm more about all the walking and seeing things.
Oh no, I don't want you to go on holiday with my missus. You're too good looking.
On that, I'm going to let Stuart close.
Brilliant. I'll tell you what. I knew this was going to be a good one. Like I said at the beginning, I've been looking forward to this, David.
I'll come back anytime.
Yeah, we will. We'll have you back in the future, definitely. No, massive thank you, David.
Thank you.
It's one of my favourite partnerships that we've got in FinTech. You're always there at the end of the phone. You're always good to have a chat when we meet up in person. So yeah, I really thank you for this, and obviously thank you for your partnership.
Thank you.
We'll definitely see. I'm presuming you're back at the Recruit Expo.
I'll be there. Yes.
It's not far off now, is it? Beginning of October.
We didn't do the last ones. I don't know why, but I've done a lot of moaning and elbowing senior management, and they've signed it off. So we're back again, and I'm looking forward to it.
We'll look forward to catching you there. And hopefully see you soon. But yeah, massive thanks, David. Really enjoyed that.
My pleasure. Thanks a lot for your time.
Thanks David.
Cheers.
Cheers, guys. Bye.